boys and girls, and welcome to another edition of Can't Wait Wednesdays here on the KB Radio Network. This is the show where we preview upcoming TV and movies that are coming out this upcoming weekend. And we have a few that are coming out this weekend that are exciting in their own individual way. I am excited for all of these properties. This is a quintessential something for everyone weekend. If you're into sci-fi, we got you. If you're into horror, we got you. If you're into comedy, we got you. It's all here. And if you're into glamorous award shows, we got you as well. Our first can't wait is the biggie of them all of the award season, none other than the 95th annual Academy Awards, which will air on ABC this Sunday, March the 12th, and it is hosted this year by Jimmy Kimmel. And this is an interesting one. Um, I have a lot of good movies that I enjoyed that I feel should win Best Picture this year, and they're all up for Best Picture. Some real good performances that should be honored this year, even though being nominated is an honor, don't get me wrong, but deserve to win. There's a lot of those here. There are a lot that were snubbed as well, but we're not going to go there right now. But this is the creme de la creme, man. I mean, the Golden Globes are nice. The NAACP Image Awards are nice. You know, the SAG Awards are cool. All that is fine and good. But all actors, all filmmakers strive for this award, the Oscar. And I'm excited for it this year for the reasons I displayed. Hopefully no one gets slapped this year. Hopefully everybody can keep their feelings in check this year. We shall see. But I am excited for one particular reason though, and that is Michelle Yao. I am hoping, wishing, and praying that she comes out victorious this year. Uh Her performance in Everywhere or Everything Everywhere All at Once was it was awesome, man. I mean, that film was awesome, and which deserves to win Best Picture. But there are a lot. There are 10 Best Picture nominees this year. But Michelle Yao, who has already made history, she's the first ever Asian woman to be nominated for Best Actress, and that within itself is amazing. It's awesome, an incredible honor. But I think her winning would be not so much for Everything and Everywhere All at Once, but more for her career overall. It will be more of a lifetime of achievement because Michelle Yao has been just gracing the silver screen for so many years and has been incredible. I mean, you can go from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Police Story with Jackie Chan, uh, what was that James Bond film, Tomorrow Never Dies, and all these other films that she's popped up in. That she has just been incredible. I always enjoyed Michelle Yao, and this was a film that was tailor made for her to showcase all of her talent. Right in this movie, she was funny. She was strong, independent, showed her martial art. I mean, everything that she displayed throughout her career was condensed into this one film, and she pulled it off beautifully. So, if anything, I want that to happen. But we'll have to wait to see this Sunday, the Academy Awards, the 95th edition, that is, this Sunday. Can't wait. All right, let's get to our films. Our films this week, all of which that are dropping this Friday. This is a big Friday. We have four coming out this Friday that are awesome in their own right, which would own the weekend if they were being released, by themselves. And It's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome to see who will come out victorious this weekend. Now, one of them is on Netflix, so we don't have to worry about box office there. And that film is Luther, the Fallen Son. And if you watched the award-winning series, I think it was BBC, and it was on Netflix as well. I think it's still on Netflix. That's how I got into it. What a show! It is a good show. If you're into detective shows, and this is a different kind of detective. On the show, Luther, John Luther, is portrayed by Idris Elba, and this was kind of a different role for Idris Elba. Oh, should I say different? Because every role is different for Idris Elba. Idris Elba is he has played he hasn't been pigeonholed to one type of movie or one type of role. Some actors get typecast as villains. They play such a good villain, that's all they ever play. Or they're always the hero. So that's all they play. Or they're known for comedy, so that's all they play. Idris Elba spans all genres of film and television. He is that type of actor. And this, I would say, different because I haven't seen him in a role like this before. He plays the detective, but he has issues. He has issues. I never finished watching the run of Luther, but I think I watched the first season and I enjoyed it, man. It was really, really good. I just never got around to going back to watching all the way through. But we have the TV movie, which will be dropping on Netflix this Friday, March the 10th. And Luther Fallen Son synopsis goes like this. In the epic continuation of the award winning TV saga reimagined for film, a gruesome serial killer is targeting London while brilliant but disgraced Detective John Luther, portrayed by Idris Elba, sits behind bars. Haunted by his failure to capture the cyber psychopath who now torments him, Luther decides to break out of prison and finish the job by any means necessary. I'm all in. I'm all in on this. Uh, like I said, this detective, he is smart. He's real brilliant, but you know, he has his issues, obviously, because he was in jail. He ended up in jail. But in this film, I guess you could say the sequel to the television series that ran from uh 2010 to 2019. Luther escapes from prison and decides to take matters into his own hands. So this ought to be an interesting film, and I can't wait to watch it on Netflix this Friday, March the 10th. Luther, the Fallen Son. All right, over in the theater, we have three films coming out this weekend, and all of them, all of them have my attention. And the first one is Champions. And this film is a sports comedy directed by Bobby Fairley, who is the other brother of the Fairley. This is his solo directorial debut. The other Fairley brother, who directed Green Book and I think The Longest Bill Run Ever or whatever it's called. He has been directing films by himself for a couple of years now, but this is Bobby's first foray in directing a film solo. The Fairley brothers, in case you don't know, they are known for these comedies. Dumb and Dumber. There's Something About Mary. Me, Myself, and Irene. Kingpin. You know, those type of comedies. And speaking of Kingpin, Bobby Fairley is reteaming with the star of Kingpin, Woody Harrelson, in this film. Woody Harrelson plays a temperamental minor league basketball coach who finds himself in legal trouble. And in order to satisfy his community service requirements, he must coach a team of players with learning disabilities. Soon, they find themselves competing for a spot in the Special Olympics. this is a this looks like it's going to be a fun movie, real funny, and dealing with those individuals with learning disabilities. The Fairleys have been doing that for their whole career. If you go back throughout their career, whether it's Dumb and Dumber or There's Something About Mary and so on and so forth, they've always had people with learning disabilities in their films, but they treat them with respect. They're not there for jokes. They're not there for laughs. They're there. Uh, it's like they have a sympathetic eye for them, and I appreciate it. I always appreciated that about their films. And so for a film to be based around this community, in this style, in a sports setting, a comedy with Woody Harrelson, who is, I mean, that's Woody Harrelson, man. I love Woody Harrelson. Uh, it can't be nothing but good. I have confidence in it. This is a remake of a Spanish film of the same name, so we'll see how this goes. Champions will drop in theaters this Friday, March the 10th. All right, now let's visit a film that comes out this Friday, but is set 65 million years ago. This film is called simply 65, and I am so ready for this movie. It is a science fiction action thriller, which is written and directed by Scott Beck and Brian Woods, who wrote A Quiet Place and A Quiet Place 2, which were just excellent. So this time around, they're writing and directing this film, along with producing with Sam Raimi, who we all know from the Evil Dead films, the Spider-Man films. He just directed uh the last Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I am excited for this movie. This film stars Adam Driver. Adam Driver is one of those actors. He can do no wrong in my eyes. He can do no wrong other than Star Wars. I couldn't stand Kylo Ren. I couldn't stand it. But it wasn't him. It was the movie. It was the way that character was written and the ultimate arc of that character that turned me off. But it wasn't Adam Driver. Adam Driver, oh man, he just looks like he was made for this type of film. 65. The premise of it is after a catastrophic crash on an unknown planet, pilot Mills quickly discovers he is stranded on Earth 65 million years ago. Now, with only one chance at rescue, Mills and the only other survivor must make their way across an unknown terrain littered with dangerous prehistoric creatures in an epic fight to survive. I am all in on this. Just imagine Jurassic Park with futuristic weaponry. It's like it's like that, and this just looks wow. This looks crazy, and I'm all in on this, man. It's like what's another comparisons I can make? It's like Castaway in Jurassic World. You know what? Just imagine. It's so many different scenarios you can put it here, but this looks awesome. I can't wait for this. I've been looking forward to this ever since I seen the trailer for this drop a couple of months ago. I'm all in. This looks super intense, and I'm all for it. 65 comes out in theaters this Friday, March the 10th. Okay, that leads us to our final film of this weekend, and it is a sequel of a sequel of a sequel of a sequel of a sequel. It is none other than Scream 6. Yes, another one. We have another. I know what you're thinking. Like, wait, didn't Scream just come out last year? Yep. And here we are again with another one. And look, I'm gonna tell you like this: that last Scream completely caught me off guard. Did not think it was gonna be that good. It surprised me. it was actually good. It was a breath of fresh air that this franchise needed after, I don't know, the last, I want to say part 3 and 4 was kind of like, it just didn't land. And then you had the passing of Wes Craven, who directed the first 4 films in this franchise. So it was dead to me, you know. And now we have a new life to it. You know, the directors of this film directed Ready or Not from a couple of years ago, which was a surprise hit. A very, very good film. And when they took over and directed Scream from last year, which is weird to say, I can't understand why they named that movie Scream. Because the first film is called Scream. So why are there 2 films in this franchise with the same name? I have no idea. But anyways, Scream from 2022, when they took that over, they paid respect to the original films, you know, the Wes Craven way. You still felt some of that Wes Cravenisms in it, but they made it their own. They made it fresh, and it was really good. You know, it was very gory. The last Scream was very, very gory. Out of all of them, I think it was the most goriest one. But hey, you had to amp it up, and it was amped up in the last one. This go around, we're doing something a little different. Well, we're doing a few things a little different. For the first time in this franchise, we're not going to have Sidney Prescott as the lead, as the star of the franchise. Nev Campbell, who portrays Sidney Prescott in the previous 5 films, she would not be returning for this one. Sadly, because of a contract dispute with Paramount Pictures, and I don't know all the ins and outs, so I'm not going to really touch in on that. But it's really sad to say that, sad to see rather, that she's not going to be a part of it, because at the end of the day, this is her franchise. That's like making another Mission Impossible film without Tom Cruise, without Ethan Hunt being a part of it. It probably would be good, but it won't have Ethan Hunt. And I know that's probably a blasphemous statement to compare Nev Campbell to to Tom Cruise star power, but you get what I'm trying to say, or Nightmare on Elm Street without Freddy Krueger. That's his franchise, and this is her franchise, and it kind of sours it a little bit. But if you're gonna make a Scream film without Sidney Prescott, you have to do something new and inventive. And this go around, they do change it up a bit. The premise of Scream 6. The film continues with the survivors of the latest Ghostface killings from Scream of 2022. Sisters Samantha and Tara and twins Chad and Mandy leave Westboro behind and start a new chapter of their lives in New York City, only to again be plagued by a streak of murders by a new Ghostface killer. Yes, this time they're going to the Big Apple, and this will be the first one not to be set in Westboro. And that's weird. We have a new setting, a new, I guess, killer. Well, of course, new killer. There's a new killer every movie, but this is going to be interesting. And the trailer really got me. The trailer, I was like, okay, let's see where they go with this. And it looks like they amped it up another level in this film. Returning in this film, we have Melissa Marrera, Jasmine Brown, Mason Gooding, Wednesday herself, Jenna Ortega, Hayden Panettiere, and Courteney Cox, all reprising their roles from previous installments of the franchise, and many new characters as well. This is going to be an interesting chapter in the Scream franchise, and I can't wait. Scream 6 slashes its way in theaters this Friday, March the 10th. So those are your can't waits this week. We have the 95th Academy Awards this Sunday on ABC. Champions drops in theaters this Friday, March the 10th. Luther, The Fallen Son, drops on Netflix this Friday, March the 10th. 65, starring Adam Driver, arrives in theaters this Friday, March the 10th, and Scream 6, also in theaters this Friday, March the 10th. I'm excited for all of these. This is going to be a busy weekend, people. I'm gonna have to carve out some time for these. Because I don't want any of these to get past me. I am all in, all invested in all of these properties. You can get in contact with the show by email. Just email the show, kbradiopodcast@gmail.com. Also, look me up on Twitter at KB Radio Network. Look me up on all other social media platforms, the KB Radio Network. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget about the 5 stars, the reviews, and sharing this show with all of your loved ones and some of the people you hate as well, letting them know that you're listening to Can't Wait Wednesdays here on the KB Radio Network. Everybody, thank you for joining me. As always, I want you all to know that I love you. Continue to love one another. And until we speak again, you all be blessed.